Welcome back, Brush Monkeys. Last week, as you know, we did the Ninja All-Stars chibi of Howl and Yip. That was kind of our, these guys here. That was the cartoony version of Lone Wolf and Cub. And he turned out pretty good. I really like how he came out. This week, we're doing the other Ninja All-Stars chibi that I've got. Is Arishikage. Now, he's a ninja. Now, as you can see, in the box art, he's kind of painted like, he's kind of colored like Storm Shadow in the G.I. Joe comics. And I'm going to do a little different than that. I'm going to do more of a traditional ninja costume. I'm going to paint him. His costume is going to be black with Corvus black highlights, and all his equipment there, the little scabbards and all this, it's all going to be Incubi Darkness with a Nuln Oil wash. So it'll stand out from the clothing, but it'll still be nice and dark. I never liked ninjas wearing white. If there's not snow on the ground, it's not necessary. His base is identical, really, to Howl and Yip, so I'm going to be painting it the same way. The biggest difference in this guy is he's not showing as much skin, so there's not going to be as much skin to paint. But also, if I can get him to zoom in, he has got really big-ass anime eyes on him. So even though the box art shows him with like little pinpoint pupils, I'm going to go ahead and paint him with big anime eyes. And that's why I've got the two blue paints out for, to paint his irises. And then I'll paint a little pupil in there and probably a little dot of light reflection, the whole 9 yards. Give this boy some blue eyes. So yeah, I think he's going to come out pretty nicely. The other thing I was going to do was I was going to paint the Arishikage look. Arishikage is the name of the ninja clan in G.I. Joe, which is probably why they painted him to look like Storm Shadow. But part of their training is they get a hexagram from the I Ching tattooed on their forearm. Now this guy's, I was seriously toying with the idea of doing it on the forearms, but this guy's got such tiny little forearms. I mean, I got mine on my forearm, but he's got such tiny little forearms, I don't know if I can really paint those on there real good and still have them be more or less legible. So I think what I'm probably going to do is do the one for completed right on his forehead, just right there on his mask, paint it in red. So yeah, that may be how I'm going to have to do that one. But first of all, I got to paint his skin tone, and I'm going to do it a little bit lighter than the last one. But oh, hold on. Sorry about that. I had a little technical difficulty there. I was doing something else in the background, and it suddenly came to life. Anyway, so I'm probably going to just do the little I Ching emblem right there on his forehead in his outfit, and leave it off the forearms, because I don't think I can get it to paint that tiny on those forearms. But anyway, let's get started on the skin tone, and when we come back, we'll see how he looks. All right, see you soon. Bye. All right, Brush Monkeys, I'm back, and I made a little bit of progress on our guy. I got the skin tones done, and I think he's looking, actually got a little more of an Asian skin tone on this guy, on this one, I feel, because I used, instead of going with the basic flesh tone, I went with a medium flesh tone. It's a little more of a yellow color to it, and I think it looks better than what I had. Also, I got his eyes done, and holy shit, guys, let me just, hopefully I could just zoom in on this, because holy shit, the eyes came out so good. I did it a little bit, I painted them all in black first to kind of give it that Shokashugi guy liner sort of look, and then I painted in the dark blue and then light blue and a little bit less of a circle, and then the black pupils, and holy fucking Christ, look at those eyes. Holy, look at those. Look at those. Oh my God. I am so damn impressed with that. I also realized as I was painting and I was debating about where to put the I Ching hexagrams on this guy, I realized his scabbards have them. They're sculpted in. So when I paint his scabbards, I'll just paint those little icons in red, and boom, I got them. But look at those eyes! Look at those eyes! Oh my God, I'm so chuffed with those eyes. Now the trick is just to paint all that space around them without messing up the eyes. So I'm going to go take a break and go pat myself on the back for being the amazing miniature painter that I am. And then I will come back and make some more progress on this guy. Alright, see you soon. Bye. Alright, brush monkeys, back. And I made some progress on our Arishikage. Miraculously enough, I was able to paint the mask around him without screwing up the eyes. I'm still really chuffed about the eyes. I got the blacks painted, and I got his Incubi Darkness painted on there, and I also got the blacks layered. And I also made a couple little changes. For one thing, I decided that these little arrow shafts were going to be Corvus black. So I did those in Corvus black, and then they'll get a little more differentiation between them when I put the Nuln Oil on, but the Incubi Darkness is still wet. And I'm also going to do, in addition to the runes on the back of his little I Ching runes on the back of his scabbards, I'm also going to paint the arrow fletchings in dark red, just to give it a little bit more spot color in all this dark clothing and everything. And the final change I decided to make was on the swords, on the sword handles. I'm going to go with, or the sword blades here, I'm going to go with an actual blackened steel, not just the Reaper Master Series blackened steel. This is actual black with metallic pigment. And it's a really, really, really dark black steel color. I really like this one, but it looks better on stealthy weapons like his. So I'm going to use this for the blades, and then I'm going to dry brush the edges with the Necron compound. So it'll make them stand out a little bit more. Yeah, so far so good. This guy's coming along really nicely. He's got a couple little stars and daggers on his belt there that are going to be picked out in the regular blackened steel, so they'll be a little bit shinier. Or maybe I'll do it, yeah, maybe I'll do the shuriken in the black steel. I'll try it out and see how it looks, and if nothing else, I can always, you know, highlight it with a little bit of Necron compound to bring it out. But yeah, for the most part, he's coming along pretty nicely. I really like him, how he's looking. So I'm going to give him a few minutes to let that Incubi Darkness dry before I put on the Nuln Oil. And then I'll probably put the Nuln Oil on without doing another update. So the next time you see this guy, we'll be working on something else. Alright? Alright, cool. So, see you soon. Bye. Alright, we're back. And as you can see, I've got the Nuln Oil on the packs and everything. And it's all darkened them down so they're all nice and shadowy. And I did the red on his scabbards. So he's got his little icons there, and the red on his arrow fletchings. So it does make a nice little counterpoint, nice little spot color there. I started painting the stars and the belt buckle and the little daggers that he's got on his belt there with the black steel, so you can see how that looks. And I want to make sure that was going to work before I painted the blades. I think it will, so I'm going to go ahead and pause here and do the blades and hilts and pommels of his swords. And then the base is the same as the base we did last week with the Howlin' Yip, so it's not going to be any big surprise. I'll base the sand and the wood in Shabti Bone. The wood will get Wildwood, the sand will get a little bit of Agrax, Earthshade. And we'll paint the rocks gray. Oops, keep it on camera. Paint the rocks gray and dry brush the sand with Tyrant Skull. Dry brush the rocks with Dawn Stone, and then paint the base band black, and we're pretty well done. So I'm going to go ahead and do his swords, and then we'll come back and take one last look at him before I finish him up and call it a day. All right, see you soon. Bye. Alright, brush monkeys, so I got the black and steel on there. You can see it really well from that angle. The difference between the black and steel and the Necron compound. And it looks really good. Looks good with the Necron compound on the edge. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. The shurikens and daggers on his belt, I gave just a little light dry brush with the Necron compound, just enough to kind of bring out the edges. Excuse me, and I think they came out pretty good. And I've got the base, at least base coated. The next step is going to be putting the wildwood on the wood planks, and the Agrax Earthshade on the sand and whatnot, and then dry brushing it and painting the base band. So I'm going to go ahead and pause and go do that. And I think the next time you see this guy, he's going to be completely done. He's looking pretty good so far. I am really happy with how he turned out. I'm still just amazed by those eyes. Those are some of the best eyes I've ever painted. I don't normally paint eyes. So I will pause here and see you in a bit. Bye. Alright, brush monkeys, there he is. Our finished Arishikage ninja. You see the little I Ching icons on his scabbards there. He looks really good. I'm really happy with how this one came out. So I'm calling him done. And we'll go ahead and wrap this up. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom from Flying Monkey Studios here. If you like what you see, click like down below. If you want to be notified when new videos come out, click subscribe. And in the meantime, if you want to see how to add one of the miniatures that we've painted on this channel to your own collection, check out our Instagram, Tumblr, and Patreon sites. If you want to support us in doing what we do, check out my Patreon site, check out my merch store at storefrontier.com/flymonkeystudios. You can get t-shirts, sweatshirts, long sleeve shirts, hoodies, all kinds of stuff there. Go check that out. And in the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.